There were people that I thought I'd be close with for the rest of my life, yet reality unfortunately smacks me in the face with the realization that sometimes not everybody is the best for you or your life. And if you can relate to any of this, I suggest that you keep watching. But oftentimes when we grow apart, forcefully or naturally, it's really difficult to accept this. People can do you wrong, people can hurt you, and sometimes you can even hurt other people. But the one thing that remains at the end of the day is that eventually we always miss these people for some reason. An important question to think about is, do you even really miss these people, or do you just feel the absence of them in your life? Does that absence impact you so much that you're willing to go back to that same negative situation just to fill that hole of absence that they left behind? I've been in a couple situations like this specifically, and I think I found the perfect way to fix it, or maybe just minimize it. And it's so simple that I probably would have looked right past it if I didn't think about it. So make sure you guys listen up. The most important thing to remember is exactly why you shouldn't want to be a part of whatever relationship broke off in the first place. And I'll be the first person to tell you that if somebody was taken out of your life in this manner, 9 times out of 10 it was probably for a reason. And obviously I've hurt people before, I've been hurt before, and the result of both of these things is that that relationship doesn't exist anymore. And that is completely okay on both ends. The people that hurt me had to have been taken out of my life because I established boundaries, yet those people couldn't acknowledge the fact that I was changing as a person, so I didn't really need them in my life. And it was completely okay for me to branch away from those people. And the same goes both ways. I wasn't mature enough to be in somebody's life. They found it to be a necessary fit to move on without me, and that's completely okay. At the end of the day, the one thing that unites both of those scenarios is that eventually we're gonna miss the person that we left out of our lives. And yes, I've missed these people so much just because they were such an important aspect of me developing as a person. But it's hard to think that sometimes I'm creating that justification in my head just so I can feel better about missing somebody that really didn't need to be in my life. Sometimes people aren't mature enough to be in our lives and come with us on our journey, and other times we're not mature enough to be on somebody else's journey. But once again, no matter how bad any of those scenarios hurt, both parties had to remove themselves from the relationship. That person being removed from your life was a necessary aspect in you developing as a person. I don't want to speak for anybody else, but I personally have never had the moment where I fought for somebody to be back in my life after they hurt me, and I thought to myself, man, that was the best decision I made in my life. One way or another, I've always had one form of regret. When I fought back for these people, they just came back into my life and they disappointed me. They hurt me the same way. In those times when I wasn't mature enough to be in somebody else's life, they took me back and I just disappointed them the same way because I wasn't mentally prepared enough to be back in that relationship. The second I justified in my head exactly why I needed this friendship back in my life is the second I self-sabotaged myself. Jesus said that if you rebuke a demon out of your body, the demon's gonna leave and come back. But if the demon comes back and you haven't made the right precautions into making the demon not come back to you, they're only gonna come back 7 times stronger. So if we apply this to that scenario, if somebody's taken out of my life and I'm not taking the right precautions as a person to make sure that they don't hurt me again, or that I'm mentally prepared to deal with this person and all that comes with them, they're only gonna come back into my life and disappoint me 7 times as hard as they did the first time. The truth is that they don't deserve you, and probably vice versa. I'm gonna continuously say this: they were taken out of your life for a reason, and sometimes it's because you're too good for them or they're too good for you. And that's nothing to be sad about because we're all developing as people. We're gonna make mistakes. It's just a matter if we grow from those mistakes. Sometimes they're not mature enough to be speaking to you, so you just didn't need them in your life, but you're still gonna miss them, and we're gonna touch on that a little bit later. I keep bringing up the opposite of what most people talk about, or I'm talking about what happens if you hurt that person. So I kind of want to touch on that a little bit. Sometimes we're blinded by our ego, so we can't even tell when we hurt somebody, and I'm gonna have a video about that a little bit later, so make sure you subscribe if that interests you. But even if we did hurt somebody and we want to change as people and then have them back in our lives, I hate to break it to you, but you cannot have it both ways. You cannot realize that some people don't need to be in your life because they weren't mature enough to be in your life, and also not acknowledge the fact that the entire opposite can happen. If this is the case, then we need to still move on. The truth is that you made your mistake and you hurt that person, and it's time to let them be on their own journey instead of trying to interject yourself back into their story. I would always recommend apologizing if need be, but never put them in that position where they're trying to take you back after you hurt them. Now, that entire section of the reasoning as to why they shouldn't be in your life is a completely logical approach to the entire situation, but as we already know, humans are emotional creatures, so this isn't going to work all the time. I want to ask you again, do you miss them or are you lonely? We don't really miss these people, we miss the impact that they had in our lives, but sometimes it's still a little difficult to let go. We find ourselves in a place where we realize exactly what they did to us, what we did to them, and we still cannot seem to let go of this person. I was doing a little bit of thinking about my own personal situations, and I realized that I found the answer that I was looking for, and it was right in front of my face. I already realized that I had to find that security within myself to love myself before I forced myself to need the love from other people. And this is the most crucial action you can take to not missing these type of people. But it won't be the only step that you have to take. That's the most basic answer that everybody has. Find security in being by yourself. But the truth is, for a lot of people, that doesn't work at all. So the truth is that we need to stop resenting these people and forgive them. Maybe not directly to them, outwardly saying that I forgive you. Sometimes it may just have to be mental or internal. If you forgive these people, then you're at peace with whatever they do in your life, whether that be with you or without you. The reason that we miss people that wrong us so much is because you want to talk it out. You want to explain your grievances. You want to explain why they hurt you so bad, because we want that apology from them. We want to fix what's wrong, even though deep down we know that the other person's probably not mature enough to acknowledge or apologize. So we create these delusions in our head, the fantasies of us telling them how they hurt us, because the only thing that we want is for them to acknowledge that, yes, you hurt me, and I want you to apologize. Harsh reality is that they probably won't apologize. They probably won't even know that what they're doing is wrong, because everybody's a hero in their own stories. So you're holding on to the possibility that maybe you can talk it out and maybe you can revive a sunken ship instead of just forgiving them anyway and letting the entire situation go. There's no need to want to see what they're doing without you, or you want them to see what you're doing without them. There's no need for all of that. Just forgive the entire situation, let go, and go your own separate ways. It's hard to miss people, and it's hard to carry on your day knowing that somebody that was such a crucial aspect in your day is no longer there. So if this did help you and you like videos like this in general, just make sure you subscribe, because I will be posting more videos like this in the future consistently. And to the people that were already subscribed, make sure you follow my Instagram in the description, because I'm going to be posting extra content on there. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.